1 of prep done. Officially started week 2 yesterday. Week 1 progress, down 0.6 pounds, nothing huge, but making some progress. I have my ACFT today, so the last couple days just got my cardio in, didn't lift, and so after today I'll probably get a lift in later and we'll get back to the grind and see what happens in week 2. Week 2 of prep done, down about 2.5 pounds since start of prep. Just finished a sick leg day with Boo.
Sick leg day for sure.
Sick leg day. How do you think prep's going so far?
Good. You're on a high of energy right now, so keep riding that out.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you have to say about that high?
It feels good. I didn't feel it when I first started prep, but I'm feeling good. So looking forward to hoping to keep the energy as high as possible for as long as possible. So we'll report back. Bye. Say bye, Daniel.
Bye.
Week 3 of prep done. Officially 3 pounds down since starting prep. Got my body fat tested this week. We're at 17.8%, which is pretty cool. And I have an appointment in a month and a half to see where we're at. And I'm excited to see that kind of progress. So, officially 4 weeks done of prep. Just woke up and finished my check-ins. I hit a new low today. Officially 4.5 pounds down from the start of prep, which is super exciting because I hit the weight today that I was at my first show last season. So we still have 12.5 weeks from my first show, 14.5 weeks for my second this season. So we still have tons of time to be way leaner than I was last season. So it's super exciting. Energy kind of had a dip end of last week. Feeling a little bit better so far this week. So I'm hoping I can keep it up. 5 weeks of prep done. Still maintaining losing about a little over a pound a week. So it's pretty cool. Kind of went down memory lane today and was looking at pictures and videos from my very first prep back in 2019. And I got kind of emotional thinking about like my mindset back then, and like I was just grinding. It was a rough prep, but just to think about how far I've come mentally and physically. Mentally, I don't think I've ever been in a better place during prep mentally. I don't feel as like mentally taxed or tired. Granted, I still have 11 more weeks, so I might regret saying that later, but even physically, like being almost at like around the same weight as I was my very first prep, but having 12 more pounds of muscle than I did back in 2019. So that's kind of crazy to think about. And I often look at side by sides, like pretty much weekly. I look at side by sides of like my last season and my very first season, just to kind of like, you know, take myself out of my mind a little bit and like really be objective and look at the photos, because I see myself every day. So sometimes I'm thinking I'm not seeing a lot of progress, but then I like put comparisons side by side, and it's crazy to think about how far I've come and how much further I still have to go. So super excited to see where we land this season with my physique and what we're able to do. But yeah, 6 weeks of prep done, down 7 pounds so far. It was kind of a tough week. Energy was low, was kind of hungry, sleep was not great, but we're making it day by day. Still seeing progress. It's just kind of having to adjust to my energy levels, kind of ebb and flow. Hoping that they'll pick back up here soon. I got a refeed today, so I'm hoping that will kind of help with my energy over the weekend, and we'll be good to go, and we'll keep seeing progress. So talk soon. 7 weeks of prep down. Weight stayed more or less the same this week. Didn't see a lot of scale progress, but still feeling leaner and tighter overall. Typically when I'm ovulating, my body tends to hold in more water, and so I don't tend to see as much progress. Coach made some more cuts this week, and it's getting tight. We're starting to grind, which is nice because it feels like we're getting closer to actual show day. So overall still down like 7 pounds, so we're still on track of a pound down a week because I was kind of ahead of schedule. So hoping to see some more progress this week. And yeah, I hadn't recorded a prep update for this week, so I figured I'd do it while all of our friends are stuck. I'm officially 8 weeks down, 8 weeks to go, and I officially hit an all-time prep low. So my weight now is lower than it ever was last season with 8 more weeks to go. So that's super exciting. 9 weeks of prep down, 7 to go. Officially down a little over 10 pounds. I feel like progress has been slow. We get kind of stuck at a number and then we just drop pretty drastically. Down like 1.6 pounds from yesterday, down a whole pound from my prep low that I hit last week. So weight just seems to like get stuck and then we just drop. I don't know, but yeah, so we're time's ticking along. 7 weeks to go. 10 weeks of prep done. Progress has slowed a bit. Still looking tighter. I feel like every check-in photo is looking better. That is some hope there. Last weekend did 2 refeeds and took the whole weekend off cardio just because my body was just feeling very fatigued and I feel like I wasn't recovering well, and so I'm hopeful to see how that's going to help me this week. And yeah, so 10 weeks down, we're still just pushing day by day. 11 weeks of prep done. Weight's slowly starting to come back down. I'm sitting about 0.4 up from my previous low. We're getting there. Energy is starting to feel, I don't know. I got a refeed today, so maybe that's why, but I got a small refeed today and then really gonna start pushing it. Got 5 weeks to go, so now is the time to really get after it. So that's the plan. 12 weeks of prep done. A little bit of change in plans. We've decided to push my show back a week because I have a family wedding the week before my scheduled show, and my coach didn't think that was the best call. So we decided to push it back a week. And so my show will now be the 27th of July in Texas instead of Las Vegas. And then my second show is also pushed a week, and that show will now be in San Diego instead of Utah. So that'll be super exciting to be able to compete, have some friends and family come to that show. So looking forward to that. Officially 5 weeks out again. So I'm hopeful. I feel like it kind of reignited. Like now I feel like a level of excitement being able to compete in Texas at the same venue I competed at last year, and then in San Diego. I've never competed in San Diego. I competed in LA my first season. And so that will be nice to kind of get out there, see friends and family, and yeah, so I'm excited to see how the next 5 weeks go. 13 weeks of prep done. I got my body fat tested again this week. I am down to 14.7%. Last time I got it tested, I don't know, weeks ago, it was 17.8. So not bad. It's cool to be lower than 15%. I will be getting it tested one more time between shows. That was super exciting. That was like the energy boost I need of like, okay, it's working, you know? I feel like you get this deep in prep and it's like, I don't know, you doubt yourself like every day at some point or every other day, and it's just like, will I be ready? Is this working? Am I gonna come in lean enough? But yeah, 14.7% and 3 weeks to go. Right? I don't know. I'm trying to keep up with this, but I don't even know when the week starts over. It's all just confusing at this point, but I'm trying my best. I'm trying. Yeah. 14 weeks of prep done. I hit a new low this morning, and last check-in, I'm 0.4 up from hitting the 120s. So that's pretty crazy. I think I will likely drop into the 120s by Friday. Today's Tuesday. And so that's kind of insane because my lowest weight last season was 136, and that was like show day, or like that was basically my stage weight. And so currently at 130.4. So that's crazy. So still 2.5 weeks left of prep, and sitting almost 6 pounds lower than stage weight, and I suspect that we will come in a little bit leaner, down 14.4 pounds from start of prep. Still hitting that like 1 pound a week mark somehow. I feel like we had a lot of slow weeks where I was like, I would get to a number, I'd hit a low, get to that number, and then I was just like stuck there for what felt like forever. It was maybe just like the week, I don't know. But then like I would hit a low, get stuck there, and it was like 136, 133, like those like numbers that I kept getting stuck at. So it's crazy to think that I'm still like on track, I guess, for what we're going for. We didn't set like an actual like stage weight target, but we knew like coming in quite a bit leaner than last season. And so we're doing that. And I'm just excited to see what I can get to before my first show. And then 2 weeks later, if I can come in even a little bit tighter, that would be pretty cool. Like I think mid 120s would be insane. I'm feeling excited. It's not often that I'm like mentally excited, but like when I can like physically feel excitement, that's what gets me through. One day at a time. Keep grinding, keep doing the stuff, keep checking the boxes, get through the days, and we'll be there. This is like pseudo energy. Like again, I'm like mentally excited, but like just physically just getting through it. So we'll see you next week. 15 weeks of prep done. Went to the wedding over this past weekend. It was a lot of fun. I did have a lot of like anxiety going into it because I was just worried about being able to get in my cardio, get in my lifts, get in my steps, meal timing, making sure I had access to my meals, packing my meals, all that stuff. It's a little complex, especially being 2 weeks out going to a wedding is kind of a lot, but everything ended up being fine. It actually ended up being better than fine. Something about training in Texas, like the humidity, it was easier to get my heart rate up. I was like sweating. I don't sweat here in Colorado. Even if it's like really hot out, it's just so dry that it's like my body just won't sweat. But the humidity, I was just feeling so good. I had the most energy and like the best lifting cardio sessions while I was there. So that felt super good. Like I lifted longer than normal, did more exercises than normal because I was like, I'm gonna take advantage of this. Like I feel great. So that ended up being really good. I was dealing with some like water retention, bloating issues with traveling, which was to be expected. Sleep was not great. We're back this week, 1.5 weeks out, and things are starting to come back down, and my weight kind of fluctuated a little bit with getting like 4 or 5 hours of sleep, driving. Like it was just kind of a lot. It was a hectic weekend. So I'm really thankful that we pushed my show because it seems like it would be a lot of stress on my body to try to get back from that and start peaking and hoping my body responds accordingly. So I'm feeling a lot better about that, and I'm just super excited. We start peak week next week, and then I'm gonna record a video for that. And yeah, we're almost there, just insane, but keep you updated. 16 weeks of prep done. It's officially peak week. I think last time I made a video, I was about to drop into the 120s. I did. Now I'm at 127.2. So that's kind of crazy. I did not think it would happen so quickly, but pretty excited. And now that it's peak week, we're gonna start bringing food up a little bit. So I'm thinking energy and strength might be a little bit better this week than in previous weeks. But yeah, next time I make a video, it's gonna be after show day. So yeah, I leave this week to go to Texas and just trying to get everything ready for that. Hasn't really hit me yet that I'm competing this weekend, but I mean, it has to eventually, right? But yeah, I'm super excited. So see y'all soon. All right, we've wrapped up 17 weeks of prep. We are now post-show number 1. My weight continued to drop throughout peak week, and it ended up hitting a low weigh-in. On show day, it was 126.4. I ended up coming in second overall, qualified for nationals. We're about to enter peak week again for show number 2. We are just pushing. We're really pushing, but we're almost there. Some days are harder than others. I felt really good post-show. I had a couple free meals and my energy was really good at the beginning of the week, and it is slowly starting to tank again. Getting back to my protocol, but we're just back to the basics with cardio and walking and my carbs. We're just gonna see what we can do. I'm hoping we can come in at least a few pounds lighter than my first show day. Yeah, so I'll keep you all updated. I guess the next time we chat will be peak week and then my show. So we ain't got much time. We got some work to do. So wish me luck. 18 weeks of prep done. We are officially in peak week round 2. I'm pretty tired. Feeling pretty good when I'm pretty tired. We got our body fat tested again this week. And my body fat percentage is down to 10.3. I did it last month and I was 14.7%. So I'm down 4.4% since last month, which is crazy, but I feel it because we've been doing a lot on not a lot. That's super exciting. Definitely hoping to come into the show a little bit leaner than my last show, and I think we might be able to do that. We're almost done with prep, which is kind of exciting, but kind of sad. Like, the days were slow, the weeks were long. No, hold on. The days were slow, the weeks were short. Fast. It went fast. I don't know. I'm looking forward to the off season, just to like have some normalcy back in life. Like excited to like look at, you know, our next steps and stuff. I'll probably talk a little bit more about that in my like next week's video, obviously, because I just don't know what that's gonna look like yet. I have an idea of what I want it to look like, but kind of see how the show goes and then talk to my coach and go from there. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to go to Cabo and enjoy some life with some friends and see some family in San Diego and just chill. Give my body a much needed break is what I'm trying to say. I'm tired. I did not sleep great last night. Last few nights my body's just like up at like 4:30 and I'm like, I have been able to fall back asleep, but today I didn't. So I'm gonna knock up my cardio and you'll see you in the next one. Hey YouTube, it's been a minute since I've recorded anything related to bodybuilding. I am about 10 weeks post-show, so it's been a little while. I wanted to finally close out my prep diary video. I've been just kind of like harboring it. I just haven't really been in the mood to like film. I've also been really busy. So yeah, a couple things I want to go over. One is post-show. So like I mentioned, I'm about 10 weeks post-show and things have been getting a lot better. Things are a lot better. I got my cycle back about 5 weeks post-show, which is pretty good. I was really happy about that because that's a really good sign that hormones are kind of balancing out, body's kind of getting back to normal function. I've also been maintaining 8 to 10 pounds over stage weight, so we're not in a bad spot, especially with where my macros and cardio are. As far as cardio goes, I'm currently doing 5 25-minute sessions a week compared to like 2 hours a day. I am loving the 25 minutes. Macros wise, my macros came up as soon as I went into my reverse, like quite a bit, and they've gone up a little bit since then. We've been kind of holding steady with it just because we want to limit the amount of body fat I put on, just so we don't have as much to dig. We don't have to dig as deep next season if we can not put on as much body fat. So I've been pretty happy with my macros. I'm eating 1,200 more calories now than I was towards the end of prep. So I feel like a human being again. My energy's been a lot better. My mood's been a lot better. Just overall, feeling so much better. So I did get judges' feedback and it wasn't anything my coach and I hadn't already like talked about. We already know what we need to work on. So the plan is to really dive deep with focusing on my leg growth this off season and my shoulder growth. So the goal is to grow my proportions quite a bit. So looking to put more muscle on my shoulders, my quads, my glutes, my hamstrings, and that's really the goal, is to just build my proportions, which I'm really excited about, because in previous off seasons I never really focused on bodybuilding. Right after my first show back in 2019, that was a really rough off season for me. I was having a really hard time with food, just kind of going through life changes. I was moving, started a new job. It was just a lot. So I didn't feel as like focused or dialed in. I was also young and I knew I liked bodybuilding and I knew that I wanted to pursue it. I knew I needed that time away. Last prep back in 2022, that off season, what that looked like is I did a strongman 4 months after my show. And so coming out of my show, I was focused on getting my hormones back. I was still on hormonal birth control, so that kind of played a role of really needed to get my body back to normal. But my goal then was just to get my health back, and I was training for a strongman competition. Right out the gate, my 2022 off season, I started training for a strongman. So 4 months later, competed, and that was kind of the main focus, and I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed trying to be strong and athletic and agile, and we didn't really pay as much attention to how much body fat I was putting on. I was just so focused on like getting strong, doing well in the strongman competition. I knew I had a lot of work I needed to do to get on stage again, and one of those things was coming off birth control. I came off birth control right before the strongman, which would not recommend, but it had to be done. So then after that, we were just focused on kind of letting my body balance out after being on various types of birth control for 10 years. So it was more of like a transition period from birth control to not being on birth control. This off season, I am very hopeful because, I mean, even so far, my body's been responding so well to the food. I feel the best that I've ever felt. I've looked the best that I've ever looked in an off season. I'm just excited to grow. And with that, my training focus. So I can already tell this off season is going to be a lot more intentional and a lot more focused than my previous off seasons, just because I have never been closer to where I need to be. I am trying to stay as dialed in as I possibly can while still enjoying my life there's a balance. I feel like this is more of a lifestyle to me at this point, so like I can do both. You know, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. But even with that, my training this off season, I wrote my own training plan. Previously, I didn't really follow a training plan. I would do like standard push-pull legs. I knew what compound lifts I was hitting. I was tracking my compound lifts in my notes. But other than that, like the accessories and everything else was just kind of like, what do I feel like doing? What kind of weight do I feel like I did last time? I think I remember this, just kind of like feeling it out, and a lot less intentional. So this off season, I wrote my own training program in this fitness journal here, and I've been tracking my workouts since right after my show, tracking how my strength's been. I was also tracking like my energy, my digestion, my mood. Yeah, I've been tracking my workouts. So my workout program is very focused on areas I need to improve to have a successful prep next season. I did qualify for nationals at both my shows. So that will be the plan next year, is to go to nationals and see how it goes. I do recognize that I have a whole lot of work to do before I can even think about stepping on a national stage, but I feel ready and determined to get that work done and see what we can bring, because I've always loved bodybuilding. It's always been a passion of mine, but the way I feel about it now is like a deeper, like it's deep. It's like a deeper level of passion, and I just feel so inspired, and it makes me excited to see what we can do. I'm very hopeful, and I feel very, very determined to make this off season the off season of all off seasons and really look totally different next year. I think that would be sick to just look like a completely different physique, and that's what I'm going for. I'm going for the most incredible physique that I am capable of at this time, because obviously I'd want to improve from next year, but feeling very driven. And I can't say that I've always felt that in the past going into an off season. I feel like I've grown so much from my very first off season where I was struggling with food. I was just going through a lot of life changes. I'm feeling ready. I'm feeling very ready. I'm hyped about this off season. I'm just stoked to just get after it, put in some work, lift some weight, get my strength back up, maybe hit some PRs. I don't know about deadlift because I kind of really went hard last season with that strongman and I pulled the weight. I don't know if I can pull at this body weight, but who knows? We'll see, I guess. I do plan on keeping up with YouTube, whether it be traveling or bodybuilding stuff. I do like the bodybuilding stuff because I like to look back on it, just to like give updates in the off season about how things are going, just so I can track that kind of stuff. So that's the plan. But I appreciate all of the love and support I received throughout my entire prep, and I'm excited to make some noise this off season. I guess I won't really be making noise this off season. I plan to be making noise next prep, so I don't know. Maybe I'll make like some noise this off season. I want to be more intentional about posting and stuff because, like I said, I feel like it, one, holds me accountable, and two, I really like to look back at it and look at my highlights and see where I'm at, how I'm progressing. And yeah, I really like numbers and I like looking at comparisons. This off season, I've also been tracking weeks post show, high and low body weight of the week, where my macros are at and where my cardio is, and comparing it to my last season so I can make sure that when I start prep next year, my macros are going to be actually high, because I've never started a prep with decent macros. It's always been like, all right, we're going to be digging a hole that's already dug. That's why I'm hopeful for this season, because my body's already responding well and we're not even really pushing yet. We're still kind of in that reverse phase and like letting my body regulate, get normal. So once that push comes, you're gonna know, and it's gonna feel good. It's gonna feel really good. But yeah, thanks again for watching. I will, Daniel's not here, he's at work. I will see you in the next one. He will also see you in the next one, but I guess we will see you in the next one. But anyways, see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. 2024 season is a wrap.